Tonight's forecast is sponsored by Ashbrook Audiology, where relationships matter.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to BTW21. I'm the Weatherman Dustin Staples here with you on this Monday. Hope you enjoyed your weekend, and hope you try to enjoy the cool weather that we saw the last couple of weeks, because it's not coming back anytime soon here. I want to begin here across the world. You've been probably hearing about this for the last couple of weeks, or now a couple of days now. Our friends across the Western Hemisphere, this is parts of Europe. Now keep in mind, this is not Fahrenheit, they're in Celsius here. So these temperatures are already closing in almost 100 plus degrees, or 90 plus degrees here outside of these particular locations. You know, I'm not going to try to pronounce half of these towns here, or these cities. Of course, London, you know, and Norwich, Hull, Newcastle, not Newcastle, Virginia, but Newcastle, Europe, outside of London, the United Kingdom here. And of course, they're experiencing the hottest temperatures they have seen in quite some time. Now, last year, I told you about this, they actually did see triple-digit heat, but it was very short-lived. This go around, it's going to be pretty warm again. Now, not is London experiencing parts of the excessive heat, but our friends towards Portugal as well as Spain. Now, you probably heard about this too going on. There's wildfires in parts of Italy. There's a major drought happening right now in parts of Spain. So they're all over the place right now, and they're experiencing this is kind of similar to a heat warning for us. Now, the weather service over there in London and the parts of the UK and the European areas are a little more different than we here in the United States. So just kind of imagine this as a excessive heat warning, the first ever red warning for any type of high heat. Again, London parts have seen over 104 for the last couple of days. Like I said, our friends towards Spain, Portugal, and parts of France even are seeing high triple-digit heat for them, and they're experiencing some possible unfortunate fatalities expected with this, as the temperatures over there they're not used to this excessive heat, as kind of we're used to the heat by this point, but they're not used to it lingering for quite a while as we're used to it here in parts of the United States. So if you have folks across Europe or they're outside of London, the United Kingdom, make sure they're okay, because believe it or not, some parts of that area does not have air conditioning, because it doesn't get it does not get hot enough for them to use this type of excessive heat. So our friends out towards the Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere, excuse me, are experiencing some extremely hot temperatures, and unfortunately, drought and wildfires are not helping any of this right there as well. And so pretty much what's happened is that there's a major dome of heat that is just bubbling over parts of Europe, the European countries out there too. So yeah, and like I said, they're Celsius. So what you saw there, them 30, 40 degree temperatures, are not Fahrenheit. They're above 90 plus. And like we saw you there, parts of Portugal and France even seeing some of that excessive heat for them as well. So we have our own heat wave to deal with here pretty soon this week, and chances of storms are going to be minimum out there. So just keep that in mind as we do see for the rest of tonight. We may see a scattered shower possible as a cold front's coming. It's going to be staggering. Not a cold front, more of a line of showers and thunderstorms is moving through the area. So just keep that in mind. Temperatures are not going to be cooling off as much for the next several nights. Area-wide, again, if you got to go find some cool weather, go to your friends in Meadows of Dan. You're going to be in the low to mid 60s. Elsewhere, upper 60s, low 70s. Your highs for tomorrow here in the city are coming in at 88. Partly sunny with a chance of showers and thunderstorms each and every afternoon. For us this upcoming up week, just giving you a tease expecting for the next several days. Tomorrow, again, 90 to about 80 degrees, so a mixed range of warm and hot temperatures for everybody. Just keep that in mind. Hot and humid conditions do develop. So once again, I do want to remind you once more, summer heat safety. I believe we're now up to 12 car deaths reported already this year in the United States, and I don't believe there's any here in this area. But just remember, hot, it's no matter what the temperature says on your car thermometer or your outdoor patio thermometer, it's going to be oppressively hot. Remember, if you're taking your pets outdoors, 7-second rule, Right now, we're going to possibly see some high 95 plus temperatures here for a while. Just remember that you want to make sure they don't get 3rd degree burn or 4th degree burn, or even yourself too when you're working out in this heat. Just do know that it's going to be excessively hot for us, and remember to take those safety key tips as well. And remember, obviously, we cool off by sweating with the evaporation of the sun. Helps us out with that. Remember, your pets have a coat on them, so it takes them a lot longer for them to cool off. And just always remember, to never leave anybody in a hot vehicle. So, summer fans, I hope you are just in awe of what's ahead over the next almost week or two. Looking at some long-range models, this heat's not going anywhere thanks to an area of high pressure that's bubbled across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, where they're also seeing the extensive heat. So everybody around the United States is seeing us as far east from the west are seeing those high temperatures, not flatteringly comfortable, but excessively hot for many of us too. Again, that 88 tomorrow, then on Wednesday. Do know that. Don't mean there's not going to be rain. It's just limited chances of these passing storms for the next several days. So Thursday, we have a cold front that's going to come through. Not the type of cold front you think it's going to knock our temperatures down, because look at this. We just go whoop the mercury here, closing in almost near 100 degrees this weekend. So hot is the way we're going to describe the next several days. Friday here's why this is interesting, because we have a cold front coming through. We're going to experience something like to call dry heat, because our humidity levels are going to go drastically down. Feeling instead of like muggy, we're going to feel kind of comfortable for both Friday and Saturday. So for those who've been out to Arizona, parts of Nevada, you know what I'm talking about, that dry heat that's in place. We're going to get that this weekend, something we usually don't get because we're so used to that humid heat, as we like to describe it too. So a dry heat is in the making this weekend. So 94 is going to actually feel like 94. It ain't going to feel like 105 with the heat index value up there. Now, Saturday, we may see that increase up a little bit more as well. So I'm going to be courteous enough to cover up those hot days, but I can talk about them again in the distant future. So tomorrow's our cool day, if you want to call it, 88 cool, 93 for Wednesday, 94 on Thursday, with that cold front coming through, giving us lower humidity levels, but our mercury temperatures are going to be climbing, and not much relief. Look at this, 72 Wednesday, near 70 about every night, so not much of relief in the break of the heat, even during the evening hours as well. So just keep in mind, heat is going to be sticking around. Take breaks. We are going to be in for a stretch of some 90-degree days, and of course, what's considered a heat wave is 3 or more 90-degree days. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we may possibly see up to 7 to 10 days of 90-degree heat if everything comes at it right now. But let's not jump ahead to next week. Just do know, take care, look after each other. Hot. Really don't much to talk about with the humidity, because it's going to be just tropically, just unimpressively hot with the humidity dew point levels being pretty high up there. And then again, that dry heat comes in for a little bit on Friday, most of Friday, a little bit on Saturday as well. Something I do want to note of that right now, we are currently in the dog days of summer. That runs from July 3rd through August 11th. So for those who are wondering, are we in the dog days of summer? Yes, we're right now in the thick of it, and it looks like this is not going anywhere anytime soon. So take care of each other, look after one another, take breaks outdoors, stay hydrated, do stuff early in the morning if you can, or wait later in the evening. I know that's kind of a difficult time frame because people are going to work, or you're really tired for the day and you want to go to bed early. So just keep that in mind. Also watch out for running the electricity bill up, because this is where we begin those pronoun problems, where if you're running the air too much, it'll begin to start cutting out on you, and you don't want to have air conditioning burnout in this middle of the heat. So like our friends across the parts of the hemisphere there, they're not used to this. This is not normal for them to see 100-degree heat for parts of Europe, Spain, and again, that drought and those major wildfires in parts of Spain. So impressive stuff across the world, and the tropics are quiet. So that's the good news. If you have any beach plans, it's going to be hot there, but tropical threat is remaining low here along the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Basin. Take care, everybody. We'll talk again with the more heat and humidity coming up on your Tuesday.
Your BTW21 weather forecast is sponsored by Zentmeyer Chiropractic.